Man la shaykha lahu fa shaitanun shaykhuhu. How many of you have heard of this statement? Man la shaykha lahu, whoever does not have a shaykh, shaitan is his shaykh. So many people placing their hands up. How many of you think this is a hadith? How many of you think this is a hadith of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? How many of you have been told this is a hadith? Again, so many people. Well, of course, in many lectures I've mentioned that this is in fact not a hadith. This is a statement of, I think, Abu Yazid al-Bistami rahimahullah also, which has a context. The context to this statement is that when a person has learned aqeedah, correct belief, has learned sharia, and he enters the correct Sufi path, and he starts traversing the spiritual states of suluk. What are the spiritual states? أن تعبد الله كأنك تراه فإن لم تكن تراه فإنه يراك. This is a hadith in the Sahih, which is authentic, that you worship Allah as you see Him. If you do not see Him, then know He sees you. When a person starts experiencing this is known as suluk. He needs a spiritual guide to guide him in this. If he does not have a spiritual guide, then shaitan in some cases can misguide him. And that is the story of a Shaykh Abdul Qadir al-Jilani radiyallahu anhu, which was mentioned that when he was worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he saw a vision of light, and a voice called out that you are no longer subservient to the Sharia, you do not need to pray. And the Shaykh Abdul Qadir al-Jilani radiyallahu anhu thought, if I am not bound by Sharia, then how come great people like Sayyiduna Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu were bound by Sharia? So he recited something, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, and the vision disappeared, and it was in fact shaitan. But then shaitan said to him, your knowledge saved you, and then he said in response that it was the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that saved me. The point from this is that if a person does not have a guide, he could be misled. This is the meaning of that statement, Man la shaykha lahu fa shaytanu shaykhu. But this statement is exploited today by groups who recruit. In order to recruit people, a person accepts Islam, or a Muslim wants to start practicing Islam, meaning praying 5 times a day, and starts attending the masjid and associating with the wider community. One of these groups will attempt to recruit him by reciting this statement. Oh, you do not have a shaykh, you must join a group. If you do not join this group, then shaitan will misguide you. But in reality, the scholars have said, as long as a person is taking guidance from the ulama of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah, meaning all the ulama of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah, he cannot be misguided. But saluk is for a specific group of people. What group of people? Some scholars were so stringent, they said the people of saluk are those people who know the 4 schools, meaning they must know al-madhahib al-arba'ah. Some scholars were this stringent. But nevertheless, the point being that those people who do saluk, who traverse the Sufi path, the real Sufi path, must have a very high caliber, not only in knowledge, but also in akhlaq, in manners. The manners of people of suluk must be very lofty.